Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs. Now let's join today's service.
Alrighty. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We'd like to take our seats, come in, join us for our service today. Hi, I'm Marietta Carter. I'm a practitioner, a member of our Board of Trustees, but most importantly, I'm your host today. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Center of Spiritual Living Nashville. I would also like to welcome those who are online and invite you to come and join us in person here in Nashville, Tennessee. We're excited today because our speaker is our founding minister, Reverend Dr. Mitch Johnson. Yes, and today, you don't get to speak right now.
I prefer His Holiness.
Okay, we'll figure out the title in just a second. But his title of his talk today is Pray Without Ceasing. So, in case you're wondering, who are we? We are an inclusive spiritual community for anyone seeking a deeper connection with God. If you've never been to a Center for Spiritual Living, let me tell you that we believe that there is one God. There's many paths to that God, and we are here to love and honor and support you wherever your divine path leads you. The Center for Spiritual Living is a safe haven for all people of all beliefs and lifestyles. So wherever you are and wherever you may find yourself on your journey, please know that you're welcome here. So, once again, welcome to our center. Let's begin our service. And now, I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. I invite you to place your hand over your heart and feel that creative life force that is within and without you, and know that force with me now. Know that there is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life right now. So know with me that you can never be separate from Source, from God, and that this CSL community is a beacon of light and love to anyone and to all in our greater community. We are part of the divine plan that is making a world that works for everyone. And for this, I'm so grateful. I bless Dr. Mitch. I bless David Armholder. I bless Jonelle Platt for their service today. And we are all just truly blessed to be in the presence of such greatness. For this, I am thankful. And so it is. Thank you, Gregory. And so now I'm going to turn it over to our own, I know you don't really like this, but our own music director, Mr. Wonderful himself, Larry Ferragalli.
Thank you. Well, happy 4th of July, everybody. I don't know what it is, but I've seen more people today that I've never seen before, which is really good. So if I walk by you, don't say anything. But it's good to see some people I haven't seen in years, and they've been here. So anyway, today we have 3 songs that have absolutely nothing to do with today's talk. Sorry, Dr. Mitch. But we're going to celebrate the 4th of July. And put your hands together for today's vocalist, the fabulous Joelle Platt. And we're going to celebrate America.
She's up before the sun on the run. Another dollar, another day, another cup of coffee. Thank you, Lord, for giving me one more. She still leans on the dreams, but it seems sometimes she's the only one who still believes that life is hard. So she takes it on with an American heart. It beats like a drum down in New Orleans, sings like a Motown melody, it dreams like California, bigger than the Texas sky. It bleeds, it scars, but it shines when times get hard. And you can't break an American heart. From the small town Friday night lights to the Broadway neon burning up a ride, it's all the same, and it's in our veins. The spirit that you can't keep down, a fire inside that'll never burn out. If you are the owner of an American heart. 'Cause it beats like a drum down in New Orleans, sings like a Motown melody, dreams like California, bigger than the Texas sky. It bleeds, it scars, but it shines when times get hard. And you can't break an American heart. An American heart. And it beats like a drum down in New Orleans, sings like a Motown melody, dreams like California, bigger than the Texas sky. It bleeds, it scars, but it shines when times get hard. You can't break, you can't break an American heart. An American heart. An American heart. God bless America, land of the free. God bless
Joelle Platt.
Thank you. Whoa. Good morning. My name is David Arnholter, and I am a practitioner and a member of the Board of Trustees here. This reading this morning is from pages 132 and 133 from This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. There is a power There is a power at the center of every person's being. It's a presence, a loving presence that knows neither lack, limitation, nor fear. It knows neither sickness, disquiet, nor imperfection. This presence, this power is at the center of all people. It's at the center of all things. But because everyone is an individual, they can build a wall of negative thoughts between themselves and this perfection. Now, this makes it difficult for the true center to come to the surface. When this negative wall exists, the mind becomes very impressed only by its external environment, which declares that poverty and pain must accompany every person in their experience through life. Now, this whole process is actually an activity of thought, either consciously or unconsciously entertained. This wall, which keeps you from the greater good, is built of mental blocks, cemented together by fear and unbelief, mixed with the mortar of negative experiences. So we're to tear down this wall, to completely destroy it. The view which this wall obscures can be seen in all of its grandeur. The sun never really stopped shining, and the river of life and love forever flows. So having destroyed this barrier, you can sit on the banks of this river of love and life and contemplate the beauty of nature, loving the world, loving all people around you, and being grateful for everyone and everything. Every person's experience of life is an attempt to merge their own being with this eternal river of love, to the discovery of that self, which has never wholly left its heaven. Like clouds which obscure the mountaintops from vision, thoughts of fear and doubt, they obstruct our greater view. But like an echo from some unknown shore, there is an eternal voice seeking, urging, waiting to be heard. Dear ones, you are in the perfect place to hear this voice. Right here, right now. Listen. Listen with your heart. And have a wonderful day. And so it is. And now, if you'll know with me, as I say this treatment in the first person, please make it personal for yourself, okay? So I know that the source and power of all of us, is love. And I am one with this source, one with this power. I am one with love. I know this fully and completely. A healing power is flowing in and through me and our community right now, healing every decision, healing every thought, healing every action. And I know this same healing power is flowing through our beloved center as we find the perfect buyer for our building. I know the perfect new home for our community appears just as we need it, and the perfect new minister for our community is even now drawn to us in love. And I send out this loving, healing power to anyone in our community dealing with health or other issues, and I affirm the highest and best outcome for them. So as a community right now, we hold them in our love, and in silence we lift up those in special need right now. And I give thanks. I give so much thanks for every expression of love present in our audience today and watching this broadcast from home. I give thanks for this community, our Science of Mind teaching, for everyone making this service possible today. I give thanks for love. And accepting spirit and love as my life experience, I release my word into the universal law of mind, which always says yes, knowing it has already made this or something even better so. And together we say, and so it is. Happy 4th.
Thank you, David. All right. Here's another song we could only get away with once a year.
Once a year.
Okay, once a year. So,
You know it, sing along.
and, I'm sure you all know it.
Well, she seemed alright by dawn's early light, and she looked a little worried and weak. She tried to pretend he wasn't drinking again. Daddy left the proof on her cheek. I was only 8 years old that summer, and I always seemed to be in the way. So I took myself down to fair and town on Independence Day. Word gets around in a small, small town. They said he was a dangerous man. Her mama was proud and she stood her ground. She knew she was on the losing end. Some folks whispered, some folks talked, but everybody looked the other way. When time ran out, there was no one about on Independence Day. Let freedom ring, let the white dove sing, let the whole world know that today is a day of reckoning. Let the weak be strong, let the right be right. Roll the stone away, let the guilty pay. It's Independence Day. Well, she lit up the sky that 4th of July. By the time that the firemen come, they put out the flames and took down some names and sent me to the county home. Now I ain't saying it's right or it's wrong, but maybe it's the only way. Talk about the revolution. It's Independence Day. Let freedom ring, let the white dove sing, let the whole world know that today is a day of reckoning. Let the weak be strong, let the right be wrong. Roll that stone away, let the guilty pay. It's Independence Day. Roll the stone away. It's Independence Day.
Joelle Platt, everyone. All right, now it's time. Let's welcome our founding minister, the Dr. Reverend Mitch Johnson.
Thank you, wonderful Larry. Wow, good morning. Our lesson today is called Pray Without Ceasing. I was, like many of you, I've attended a lot of church services and seen ministers of many different stripes. And, you know, and I've seen you sometimes when I'm talking, you look at your watches like, He's a little long-winded today. So, you've seen that. Maybe you've done that. So, do you know what it means when a minister looks at their watch when they're talking? Absolutely nothing. They could go on and on. You don't need that lunch. Let me help talk you out of it. Well, if you've grown up in America, you've probably noticed how much religion is really a part of our lives, even if your family never attended a temple or a church. You notice there were Catholics and Mormons and many different Protestant groups and Baha'is, and I could go on. Orthodox and Reformed Jews and Sikhs and Hindus and Buddhists and Muslims and, on and on. All these groups go to a different building on the weekend and recite different prayers in different languages with different rituals attending. If you were in a religion like I was, that claimed to be the only true one, with the only right answers, then you could make fun of or persecute these other people. Just, you could do that because you could ignore them even, because you wouldn't have to deal with them in the afterlife. You were going to heaven and they weren't. But most of us were attracted to what we call New Thought, which really should be called New Thought / Ancient Wisdom. It's really a newer way to look at the teachings of Jesus and the core of these other religions, and what we find that there is a thread of truth that runs through all of them. The truth tells us there is a way to approach this thing called life, a way that works in a practical way that allows any of us to create in our lives real happiness, real prosperity, real health. In other words, all the good things of life. The first thing we have to understand is there is a cause and effect relationship we all have with our lives. Something causes our experience of life, which is the effect. So now we call that something God or first cause or the Christ within or whatever feels right to you. All these different religions have remarked on this cause and effect relationship that people have with their lives. For example, the Hindus say everything we do eventually has an effect upon ourselves and our loved ones. Our own Bible says, as you sow, so shall you reap. So does Buddhism. It says the same thing. Confucianism states, what proceeds from you will return to you. Judaism says, one who waters will also himself be watered. There's an even clearer statement in the book of Proverbs, and it goes like this. As a man, and we can say a woman too, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As we think in our heart, so are we. This is very profound, very deep, very revealing, as it clearly shows us who or what is the cause of this cause and effect relationship we all have with our lives. It is the thinking, the words, the pictures, the ideas we feel in our hearts, the vision or the lack of vision, the thinking we really believe deep in our hearts that sparks this spiritual law that we may have been ignorant of, but nonetheless keeps on working the way it works because it's a law. And we call it the law of mind. You could call it, the law of attraction. I suspect the truly important things in our life are simple. Sometimes so simple we simply overlook them. As we think in our hearts, so are we. Just 9 little words. Everybody raise up your hands like this. And just go like this. Start here. Go, as we think in our hearts, so are we. 9 little words. Now I want you to say this. As I think in my heart, so am I. Now it's important to put physicality into this. The NLP people And the Psych K people, and lots of people really, have said if you want to embody something, get your body involved in it. Get your body involved in it, and then you'll remember it easier. In fact, it'll go into your heart. I'm not sure what that is. So the so am I is the power part. It's really saying, if I turn it backwards, I am so. I am so. If the way you truly want it to be is not in your life right now, you have to right now start, I am sowing it to be the way you want it to be. For example, I am so lovable. I am so creative. I was talking to Joelle earlier, and I told her, I was giving her compliments on her being her, and she was going, well, and I told her the truth. In the Moroccan culture, you know what they do when you give someone a compliment? To acknowledge that compliment, you put your hands over close to your heart. You say, it's true. See, I am so lovable. It's true. I am so worthwhile. I am so creative. I am so peaceful. I am so healthy. See, I'm putting my body into it. I am so prosperous. I am so happy. Happy. I am so, name whatever it is you truly want to be thinking in your heart until you start thinking it in your heart. It's that simple. How many of us do it? You know, the Abraham Hicks people say something like 90% of people who read this still don't do it. Isn't that interesting? So, start thinking it in your heart, because when you do, you will have it in your experience of life. It's a law. Now, I want you to say this. Whenever you say, I am so, it becomes true for you. That is, in a sense, and in a deeper sense, the more you say it. But when you say, they are so, that also becomes true for you. So when you say, they are so ignorant, they are so awful, they are so, do you want that in your, because that's what you're saying. Oh, I am so that too. How about saying, they are so powerful, they are so creative, they are so loving, they are so good at what they do. Oh. So most of us use this I am power that we all have in absolutely atrocious and untruthful ways. We said, I am so ugly, I am so poor, I am so fat, I am so thin, I am so unworthy, I am so sick, I am so depressed. Name your distress. Notice I'm not saying people aren't any of these things. Bad things can be facts. They can be experiences. But facts and experiences can be changed. And changed by you if you show a little faith and a little courage and willingness to use your I am so power in a different way than you've been using it. Here's a bit of news for some of you. Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. Despite all your protests as a child. It's not fair. Nope, life isn't fair. It's not, I'm not sure it's supposed to be. Because I think the bad things that come up for us in this life offer us all a learning opportunity. An opportunity to ask ourselves, what kind of thinking do I want in my heart? A thinking based on fear and doubt, or based on love and possibility? I've come to see in my experience of life, our hearts are made for love. Our hearts are made for cooperation. that love is the greatest motive power there is. And the more we learn to love what we want and love others and love ourselves, the more I am so in our hearts, the more loving, kind, and joyous and prosperous and wonderful things we will start seeing in our experience of life. For we will touch that ineffable, that ever-present, that transcendent spirit of the Most High, which I believe is love. Or as the Bible says, God is love. Eric Butterworth, the great unity minister, said, within every person there is an intuitive sense of the transcendent, an inner knowledge that there is more to life than one may be experiencing, and are yearning to unfold more of that. You know, physicists have been discussing and disagreeing about what started the Big Bang, that started our universe. But they all agree that whatever it is or was, it set in motion a creative process, an expanding, a creating of more and more and more. And this original impulse to create and expand grew, and making stars and making more universes. And, well, it's in every one of us. It's there. It's natural to us as our breathing in and breathing out. I look at the trees in my backyard. My backyard is woods. So I look at those trees, and every year they get bigger and they grow, and new ones come up and new ones. It's all about this original impulse. I remember getting up in the morning as a child, excited to be alive. Were you that way? Oh boy, let's go play. Let's go outside. I watched my own kids do that. I've watched my grandkids do that when they were small. They'd get fired up to play and create, and then they use their imagination to explore and have fun. And it was always a doo-dah day. It was always, this is the best day I ever had. Do you understand? It was always that way when we're children. That's this original Big Bang implosion, that intuitive sense of God, if you will. So it's very real sense. We were born to create. We were born to expand. We were born for more and more and more. And especially to know that despite even the worst circumstances we might find ourselves in, we never have to stay in them. We can move around them and under them and through them and over them. That's this transcendent power that's already in us. It is the power we feel in our hearts with love, the power that creates. See, I am, and I'm so grateful to know this. I am so grateful to know. I am so happy and grateful to know that I am a part of God. There's no difference. I know you're looking at me. So are you. I am a part of God. I am so, I am so, I am so. So stop telling me I'm not. I am choosing to think all the good that can be, all the good that can be is because I know I've got this love power to choose it that way. We teach a spiritual technology here that in fact does work. It will create things for you. It will create money, career, parking spaces. But notice, these are only things. What we are really about here is your relationship with the divine. How aware are you that this transcendent power of love of God in your life is always within you, ready to become through you something so much more greater than you've ever conceived? It's like Jesus taught, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. So yes, you can create parking spaces and careers, but what good are they if you aren't aware that you are the beloved of a loving, powerful Creator. You are so. One with God, with divine love. And once you know that and live that, the things you require or you envision tend to happen automatically for you. I believe we all came here to prove and joyously create with the idea that God or the Holy Spirit or the quantum field of limitless potential, whatever you want to call it, the source, is bigger, much, much bigger than any human earthly problem we might find ourselves in. So whatever situation we find ourselves in, we can bemoan our fate. We can feel sorry for ourselves. We can hang around with gloomy people who feel the same way. And we can say, oh, it's just not in the cards for me. Don't you feel sorry for me, Becky? No? Don't you feel sorry for me? You ever notice how people have that tendency? I'm looking for someone to feel sorry. Don't you feel sorry for me, Joelle? Oh, I knew it, you bunch of heathens. This transcendental power of love, which created everything that is, if you hang around with people like that, and if you say negative things like that to yourself, this transcendent power of love, the creator of all that is, the power of God, if you will hold you gently in its hands and say, oh, dearly beloved, dear one, you are so very right. You are absolutely right about how many things are wrong. You see, God can't be anything to us that we aren't to ourselves. That was pretty good, wasn't it? I like it. I wrote it. God can't be anything to me that I'm not to myself. Or we can reach deep down in our hearts for courage, give ourselves a swift kick in the behind, and tell ourselves, hey, if I'm always right, and you know you are always right about whatever's going on in your life. If I'm always right, what would I like to be right about? Can I be right about there's plenty for everyone? Can I be right about the kingdom of heaven is within me? Can I be right about happiness and joy and health are plenty, are mine by divine right? Can I be right about becoming an ever-widening vessel for the greater creative energy of love to move through and bless all of life with? Can I be right about life is really, really good, and I am really, really good in it? Say this, life is really, really good. And I am so really, really good in it. You're not putting your body into it. Life is really, really good. And I am so really, really good in it. Boy, if you don't get anything else today, remember that. To achieve all this, what you have to do is to learn to think in your heart that what you want to be right about is really, really so. I'm not saying that's easy, dear hearts, because a lot of you have, and a lot of us have had so many things that denied that. But what you have to do is pray without ceasing. Without ceasing. You know, in other words, You know that every thought, every word you say out of your mouth, everything that you allow yourself to hear or see, every word you or form or a vision you have, every thought and feeling is touching something in your heart. It's actually touching the nerves in there and changing them. It's actually changing the nerves in your body to become more like that which you want in your heart to be so. If you do that over and over and over a little each time, you are raising your consciousness to the love level. And you're deepening your relationship with the divine, to creating your life the way it can be. Now, we call the spiritual technology we use here spiritual mind treatment. That sounds kind of, you better come into my room. But it's just prayer, affirmative prayer, or every thought you have, every word you say is also a prayer. There's many great books. I think we have many books on how to pray. I'd get some and read them over and over again there in the library. So if you really want to change, to develop a closer relationship with God within you, and you have to do it as Paul admonished in the 2 Thessalonians. He said, pray without ceasing. I think prayer is a device of thought that allows us to capture that innocent clarity and joy, that being alive feeling every morning that we had as children that we discussed earlier. We all had that, but it's still there. Did you ever read that book, Children's Prayers to God? That was a pretty funny book. Let me give you a few examples. This is Jenny, who's 6 years old. She wrote, Dear God, please put another holiday between Christmas and Easter. There's nothing good there now. Yep. I guess she's too young to appreciate Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. Anyhow, little Mary, who's 9, said, Dear God, if we come back as somebody else, please don't let me be Jennifer Horton, because I hate her. Yeah, kind of honest. And then Danny, who's 8, Dear God, I love this. Dear God, I bet it's very hard for you to love everyone in the whole world. There are 4 people in my family, and I can't do it. Yeah. I love this one. Billy, who's 10 years old. Dear God, this is very zen. Dear God, who says bless you when you sneeze? Yeah. But do you see there's a power, a clarity of innocence in those prayers, because they are not jaded with the layers of limitation that life often contains for us. I remember when I first started going to a Science of Mind and Spirit Center, I was intrigued by the service intellectually, but at the end of the service, they brought out all the children, and they sang together, Let There Be Peace on Earth, up on the stage. And I started bawling like a baby. Why? All those innocent faces reminded me in my heart of who I really was that I had forgotten about. I'd allowed myself to believe in what could go wrong than I believed in what could be right for me. But I thank God I learned in that center how to do that. So yes, they were tears of regret, but they were also cleansing tears of joy. This one life we call God. So I took glasses and I listened on Sunday, and I learned to pray as if what I was praying for already was. And I'm not saying that it's easy, but it can be done. And that is our challenge in this life. See, I'm going to tell you this. Everything you could possibly want is already so in the mind of God. It's already so. If you have the desire to create or give birth to some good, then if that is the divine urge in you from the universe, just for you, which really means you can really, really do it, or something even better. Here's the thing, dear ones. Your prayers won't change God's mind about you. God's mind is already made up. God thinks you are really, really wonderful. You are her beloved. You are the apple of her eye. You ever wonder why we feel bad? You ever wonder, how do I feel bad? Well, we sometimes feel it's because of this or that, but those things can't make us feel bad. We have to feel bad ourselves. So we feel bad because we aren't thinking of ourselves the way God thinks about us. That difference registers on us as a bad feeling. Your prayer can change you, your thoughts, your deeds, to more nearly align your beliefs with what God believes about you. So Paul wrote this in Thessalonians to people who were having problems, believing that a good life was not possible for them. He said, stop whatever you're doing and rejoice always, and pray without ceasing. Rejoice always and pray without ceasing. I suspect old Paul knew that every thought we have been thinking, every thought we pay attention to, releases a creative energy that seeks to create more of that energy. So he was saying, and I believe, only vigilantly allow thoughts of peace, plenty, joy, love, and you will receive more of the same in your experience of life. So if we will repeat and repeat and repeat good and only good until there's no room left for limitation and what's wrong in our hearts. And as more and more and more of us come to think this way in our hearts, our world will transform and become the goodness and love it really already is. Emerson, in his great essay on self-reliance, says, prayer is the contemplation of facts from the highest point of view. So maybe that's the love point of view. We contemplate, we imagine them, feel about them from that high point of view. We do our best to see life as God sees it. That is, everything that troubles us is merely an opportunity to prove to ourselves there is a power greater than we are and yet still is what we are, that is within us, that we can use to create something better. We have to ceaselessly pray, ceaselessly think about it in our prayer as if it's already so. And when we convince our hearts it is so, it will be so in our lives. Well, over the years, people have often asked me, well, how can I start to believe something that I don't think I believe in? I don't think it's true. And I say, just like you've learned to do anything in this life, you repeated it, you visualized it, you rehearsed it, you did it over and over and over without ceasing, without ceasing. Think about everything you've learned. Did you sit down one day and say, I'll try it once, but if it doesn't work, I quit? Driving your car, for example? I bet you didn't do that. You did it over and over and over without ceasing until you knew it. Anything from riding a bike to computer knowledge to music to business didn't just happen to you. You prayed them with every thought you had about them, and you I-am-so'd them so often that you became the place where it could happen. Your knowledge and relationship to the divine, the creative source of all, flows through you in a greater way because we are what it is. There is always something better, always something more, always something good for this divine energy. And when we pray without ceasing, this greater good and more kind and loving thoughts and ideas, we see it from that high point of view. It's really pretty simple. Rejoice always. Wow. Pray without ceasing. Why would he say such a crazy thing? Rejoice always for my problem? For my hurt? Buddy, I just lost my job. Are you nuts? Yes, rejoice, because that only means a better job is opening up to you. Rejoice that you are one with God. Rejoice that your thoughts from your heart will always create something better. Rejoice for love. Rejoice for being alive. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Stand up. Just close your eyes and think of something that made you happy. I don't care when, where, now, last week. You got it? Okay, let yourself feel it in your heart. Now go like this. Rejoice, 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 rejoice. Okay, sit down, it's enough. Now, the spiritual technology I am giving you is simple, but you have to put it into action. So let's think about this. The first thing you have to do is see your life and those in it as it can be. And maybe you can write it out. Maybe you can have a picture of it in visualization. Allow yourself to imagine and feel that this power greater than you loves you and is creating what you feel like with joy and love. First thing you do is picture, imagine, visualize with passion that your desire is already yours. The first thing is always to think, as I think, so am I. As I think, so am I. Every prayer we say with feeling and love opens a window in our souls and our hearts and minds, a window of possibility through which, please get this, through which that which already is there can come through. You wouldn't have the desire if it wasn't possible. The greatest good you can conceive of already exists in the mind of God. It's waiting for you to get up there with God and see it that way. That's why we rejoice always and we pray without ceasing. And I say first because there is no second. What do you want in your life? A healing? It's possible. Do you want a lover? It's possible. Do you want more money? It's possible. Do you just want more joy and to feel good? It's possible. So just put your hands over your heart now. And with your eyes closed, I'll say this. There's only one life, and that life is God. And that life is my life now. Repeat that with me. There's only one life. That life is God. And that life is my life now. And that life is love. And that life is love. And that life is joy. And that life is just beginning every minute of every day. Thank you, God. Thank you. I am so happy and grateful to know this. And we all let it be so. And so it is. So it is.
I just love it when he speaks. You know, yeah. But now is the time to give back to what serves us. So if there's something that touched your heart today, give. There are many ways that you can share your gift, your love with us, and we're grateful for your offering. So I'd like the ushers to come forward so we can accept your gift in the basket that will be going around. You can use your credit card in the bookstore, or we have a terminal set up on the back table right outside these doors in the lobby. Or you can find a document with a QR code probably in the book sleeve in front of you. Great. And maybe, I bet y'all know this. I bet if you could repeat with me. Thank you. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you for your loving gifts.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grey, for purple mountains' majesties. Above the fruited plain, America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country love and mercy more than life. America,
I told you we had some greatness here today. Thank you, Jonah. So let's give thanks once again to our speaker, Dr. Reverend Mr. Holiness himself, Mitch Johnson. Of course, Janelle Platt, our band, our AV team, everybody else. But most importantly, thank you all. Thank you all for being here today. It's community what makes CSL special. You are what makes CSLN special. Thank you for being here. So I would like to just run on out here and get started with the day, but I have some very important announcements. So you might want to take the pad that's in front of you, write a few things down, okay? First off, while you're getting that, today after service, in honor of Independence Day, we have a celebration in the fellowship hall. Please join us as we have some food and some, join us with the fellowship in there. So regarding our upcoming weekend for our new minister candidate, on Friday, July 14th, we'll have our own Gordon Ellis, Antoinette Olson, Sean Galloway, who will be performing during our coffee house and a meet and greet with our minister candidate, Dr. Reverend Ron Fox. So mark your calendars and come out and join us and have an opportunity to meet Reverend Ron. Then Sunday on July 16th, Reverend Ron will be the speaker of our service. After a short refreshment break, he will also give a workshop followed by a Q&A. You may wonder what happens after the minister candidate weekend. We vote. So in accordance to our bylaws, we are announcing for 2 Sundays that we will be sending out electronic ballots through SurveyMonkey following the candidate weekend. So this is the first of 2 Sundays. We will also post this in the next 2 newsletters. So the electronic voting period will remain open until Saturday, July 22nd. There are a couple of things to note before this vote. Because Reverend Ron is our only candidate, the ballot will give you a choice to either offer Reverend Ron a letter of call to be our senior minister or to keep looking for a senior minister. Members of CSLN will receive an electronic ballot, as I just stated, through SurveyMonkey. Member votes counts towards the result. If you're not a member, and if you are a member and do not receive a ballot, please check your spam folder. If you completed the discovery class but did not complete the application to become a member and you would like to be a member so you can vote, please let us know at admin@cslnnashville.org. If you're not a member, we would still like to know your thoughts. Please email us at admin@cslnnashville.org. Now, if you're unable to cast an electronic vote for any reason, please let any Board of Trustee member know, and we'll make sure that you'll be able to cast your vote. We will have paper ballots available at the center from 10 a.m. to 10:45 before the Sunday service on July 23rd for any members who did not receive the electronic voting. So after all that, results will be announced on Sunday, July 23rd at our Sunday service. So be here. Finally, we have a basket out in our lobby for our beloved Judy Burnett. So if you'd like to send her a little love, if you'd like to let her know that we're thinking about her, please just fill out a card, bring something that you think she might like, some lotion, some lip balm, candy, word pulses, whatever it is. And there are a host of us who will make sure that Judy receives that. So I am now going to, before we close the service, I would like to thank our visitors. Once again, y'all join us, please, in the fellowship hall so we can get to know you and you can get to know us. I'd also like to thank those who are watching online. And if there's anything in the service that moved you today, just please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. And I would like our practitioners and speakers to come up front. If there's something that's heavy on your heart, if there's something in your heart's desires, please don't leave here today without allowing us the honor of assisting you. If you have a health issue or something else troubling you, or if you want to attract a new career, more abundance of harmony in your family, please ask one of these professionals up front to pray for you. Or you can fill out a prayer request form and put it in the secure box on the table in the hallway. If you're watching online, you can go to our website under practitioners, and you can contact them directly. Please join me as I say a closing treatment. I know that there is only one source, one mind, one heart, one love from which all things come. I see this beauty in this creation. Every day I move about and have my being, and I go forward with life with a certainty that there is cause and effect, and I am the co-creator of my life. I know that the power of the Creator is with me now and always. So today I surrender to what was, and I open to what can be. Perfect harmony is my life's work, and I'm a spiritual magnet attracting only that which blesses, prospers, and lifts up all. I am so lovable. I hold the vision of peace and love, not only for myself, but for everyone else. I hold this vision for my beloved center as we move forward into a wonderful new home that serves us well. I hold this vision for our new minister because I know they too are one with us in spirit. Spirit dwells in me as I go forward dancing in the light of love. I am the beloved. I am part of the divine plan for a world that works for all, and I'm so grateful for this awareness. I'm grateful for the Sons of Mind teaching, and I give great thanks for the divine within. As I think in my heart, so I am. I release my word to the law of mind and celebrate its perfect fulfillment right here and right now. And so it is. Thank you.
Okay, let's all stand up and sing our closing song. This is a song we do every Sunday for you newcomers. This is Jackie DeShannon's Put a Little Love in Your Heart, and we've got the lyrics for you all to see. So let's do it.
And the world
This program is a service of the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. May your life be filled with joy and prosperity in every way. Learn more about our programs or contact one of our practitioners at our website, cslnashville.org. You may also want to follow us on Facebook at CSLNASH. You can make a big difference with your financial gift at lovecsln.com. Please share the link to this program with a friend and join us again next Sunday. Have a wonderful week.